Good morning, ladies. My name is Shakia Gillette. I'm the director of the African American History Initiative here at the museum. And thank you all for joining us. Give yourselves a round of applause. Today's program is in collaboration with the Sistakeeper Empowerment Center. International Day of the Girl aims to highlight and address the needs and challenges girls face while promoting girls' empowerment and the fulfillment of their human rights. Join us as we celebrate teen girls through poetry, entertainment, and an interactive opportunity for girls to take the I Define Me pledge. Y'all already took the pledge, right? Y'all already took the pledge, okay. So now I'm gonna read a little information about the wonderful Miss Tracy Berry McGee, founder of Sistakeeper Empowerment Center. Founded in 2002, Sistakeeper empowers, inspires, and develops the mind, body, and spirit of young women to find their purpose in life. This nonprofit organization serves local schools throughout the U.S. with an international presence in Africa, Jamaica, and Mexico, Thailand, and Germany. McGee is now a global empowerment speaker, providing keynotes for girls and women in educational settings, faith-based church, and youth organizations. Additionally, she is the author of several poetry books and curricula for girls 8 through 18. So, Miss Tracy, come on up.
Hey, sisters! I am so excited about you all being here today. It is really important that we know the value of defining ourselves. So one of the things that I'm going to say, you just let me know if you hear me. If I say sister, you say keeper. Sister! Keeper. Sister! Keeper. Sister! Keeper. And you can snap if you're feeling me. The next thing I want you to know is our hashtag for today is I Define Me. So anytime you know that no one else defines you but society, because society cannot define you, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, look at the sister next to you and say, I define me, boo. I define me, boo. It's so important that you define yourself. I want to bring up one of the sister keepers. She is a powerful woman. Her name is Yolanda Langford, and she has a message for us.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. One more time, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. That's what I like. Well, ladies, I have a special message from the mayor of St. Louis. Today has officially been named Sistakeeper Empowerment Center Day of the Girl in the city of St. Louis. Office of the Mayor, City of St. Louis proclamation. Whereas Sistakeeper is a nonprofit organization that empowers girls to define their voices, focusing on diversity, leadership, and character through school and community-based mentoring, wellness circles, retreats, summits, and conferences. And whereas the Sistakeeper mission is to empower, inspire, and develop the mind, body, and spirit of young women into women with a purpose, and whereas through the efforts of Sistakeeper, young women are empowered to grow positively, knowing possibilities can become realities if you stay focused on your journey. And whereas, on behalf of the city of St. Louis, it is my pleasure to join with Sistakeeper Empowerment Center in celebrating International Day of the Girl and encouraging all girls to define their voices, take the pledge to be a keeper, and define their purpose locally, nationally, and globally. Now, therefore, I, Lyda Cruson, Mayor of the City of St. Louis, do hereby proclaim October 11th, 2019 as Sistakeeper Empowerment Center Day of the Girl in the city of St. Louis. Let's give yourselves a round of applause.
We did it, and that's what's most important. We did it. So now we want our speakers. We have two sets of speakers to come up, and we ask that our girls give us questions to ask the speakers. So speakers, come on up. We're going to have our first set to come up. We have Asia Muhammad. Give her a hand. Dr. Asia Muhammad. Dr. Candace Wakefield Tita. Dr. Maxine Clark. Dr. Anu French. and Adrian Bracy and Nicole Adewale. They are bosses. We have women bosses in the house. And we have 6 girls that we gave questions out. If the first 6 girls could come up on this side.
If you could tell your teenage self something, what would it be?
Okay, so one thing that I think I would go back and tell my teenage self would be to write down what I wanted to manifest. Because a lot of times there's so many suggestions around us of what we should do or what we shouldn't do. And I've seen like myself and so many other young women that I know have dreams and goals and not accomplish them because they allow other people's energy to kind of block that. And so when I say like suggestions, like our minds are really suggestible and you never know why you might change your dream and you wanted to grow up and be an architect, I don't know. So you write it down every day because when you have like negative suggestions, it's not always the form of like, you're not gonna be an architect. It could be something like, it's gonna take a long time to do that, or that's really hard. And then when you have a bad grade on a test or a bad grade on in a class, you take what other people say and it's easier for you to doubt yourself because you've allowed somebody's suggestions to kind of come into your mind. And then I'll end with this. I heard this quote once by this therapist and it said, when we feel unworthy, we look for evidence to support our insecurities. So write down what you want to do, read it to yourself every day so that no matter what negative suggestions come your way, you are firm on what you want to do and who you want to be.
My question today is, what does it mean to be a boss lady?
Well, being a boss lady is a really big responsibility because in a lot of ways, women are the most suited for it because we're used to being the mom, the sister, the aunt, the cousin of a big family. And that's what a company is. It's a family of people working together towards a common goal. And so you have to nurture, you have to encourage, you have to teach, you have to critique. And that doesn't mean criticize. Critique means positive responses to work. Learn from your mistakes and show people who you are as a humble person also, because everybody, you don't want people to be afraid of you. You want people to be respectful of you, but you want them to work with you. And that takes a lot of community. And I think women, in my personal opinion, the best bosses I've worked for, and I didn't, for a long time I worked and I didn't have one woman boss, but when I finally did, I realized how valuable that was as a lesson to me because they really were inclusive. They brought us all together to work towards a common goal.
And my question is for you today is, how do you use your voice now?
So as a successful business person, even though I'm only 4'10", I stand pretty tall in a community because Build-A-Bear was founded here in St. Louis, and people, while they told me it would never be successful, they know now that it was. And so I now use my voice to support other young women and minority entrepreneurs, helping represent them in their business ideas, whether it's to go to a bank, introduce them to those banks, introduce them to a manufacturer, introduce them to a marketing company, bring everybody together so that we can really create great products and services for St. Louis. So I stand up for others. And in doing that, I'm really standing up for me because I'm one of the most curious people I know, and I love to learn about new ideas and new businesses, and all of you out there sitting in the audience are doing something that I would be interested in. And so for me, it's in doing something for you, I'm learning something I would have no idea unless you told me. So that's how I use my voice today.
Snap on that. How do you define your voice? Dr. Candy.
Well, I use my voice now basically to set a standard, but I like to set a standard of excellence in my practice. I set that standard with my employees. I try to set that standard also with the expectation that the patients actually have. I want people to understand that in order to do what you want to do in life, you have to have a set of criteria even for yourself that you're going to apply, that you want to have set that to, like she said, to define who you are. And so my practice is a representation of who I am. And so I want that to be in a light of excellence. So I like to try to do things, everything that I do, every decision that I make concerning the practice, from what type of toothbrush we pick out to what type of movie is played, music is played. Every step of the way, we try to do it in a spirit of excellence and hope that it actually gets translated across the board. The second way would probably be use my voice now in the community, doing things like this, doing things, helping others. I ask children when they come to the practice, What are they doing in the summer? What are they doing in this way? I hear all kinds of answers, and then behind the scenes, I support them in some of those missions. So I think it's important to give back. I think it's important to stand up for what you believe and also to have a vision for yourself.
She's also an author, ladies, an author. Anyone else want to expound on that? We have a couple more.
Sure.
Yes.
I always think of myself when I first came to this country, you know, as an immigrant, I was always afraid to speak up almost, like I felt like I had to sort of fit in and follow the rules. And then in the last 25 years in my practice, I've seen so much inequity in healthcare. Communities of color, children of color, women of color do not get the same accessible, affordable health care as the rest of the country. Yes. And so I feel like a year ago I was on Capitol Hill speaking for equity in healthcare and affordability in healthcare, but I think just even in my day-to-day life, now I'm not afraid to speak up. I think there were so many people who spoke up for me when I didn't have a voice. When I was afraid to say something, someone would come forward. So now, if I see anybody being treated in a way that is not respectful or is something that is being said negative about their religion, their culture, their skin color, their caste, their creed, I speak up. I use my voice.
Yes. Speak up.
And I use my voice in my job. Number one, doing things like this that was said earlier. I like to really encourage young ladies to build confidence in yourself, because that's the one thing that's really going to help you succeed, is having confidence in yourself. That's the one thing that most women, we tend to lack, is confidence. So I use my voice to really encourage. I love to be an encourager, and even in my church, I attend Shalom Church, and we just had a women's conference, so I always encourage women, whether it's spiritually, business-wise, personally. I love to be an encourager, but more so even than just my voice, it's all about your actions. Yes. Because you can say anything, but it's about what you do and how you move it forward that's really critical. So use your voice, but also put your actions behind it. Thank you.
And finally, Nicole.
So I would say there's a lot of opportunities, fortunately, for me to share my voice. One place is in business, and I tend to lend myself in spaces where there aren't a lot of people who look like me or most of the people in this room. And I do that, one, to find out what kind of resources are there, not only for me, but for other people in my community. And then the next thing is, how do I bring more people who look like me into this space? So that's one way where I use my voice. The second way is, I mentioned in my opening, I'm actually a student. I'm pursuing an urban studies degree at Harris Stowe State University.
Yes.
I'm going to school with my friends' kids and my kids' friends. And so what I have the opportunity is, my classmates are 20, 21, some 19, and I always, each semester, look for somebody who's really studious, and those who I connect with, they have access to me, not just me as a student, but me, Nicole Adewale, the owner of Abner, who knows Maxine and Adrian and Jade and Miranda, yes. And I look for ways to connect those students to resources in the community.
Thank you. So as our next panelists come up, we're going to have a poem by Kristen Harris. Give her a hand.
Good morning, ladies. How are you all doing this morning? That's good. So while we're here and we're talking about defining me, one of the main things about defining yourself is defining your voice. So this morning, I want you to realize how powerful your voice is. Your voice is your power. So be sure to speak loud. Your voice is your power. Use it and make us proud. Your voice is your power. Speak articulate and clear. Your voice is your power. Make people listen and not just hear. V is for vocal. Use your voice and speak up. O is for owning your opinion, even when it's unpopular and tough. I is for intentional with every word that you speak. C is for courage. Be brave, even when you feel weak. E is for evolve. Grow your heart and mind with age. I is for improvisation. There's always an audience, even without a stage. S is for your story that only each of you can tell. Y is for yourself that you should get to know and love as well. O is for our future in which you will pave the way. U is for united, for we will all get further that way. R is for respect, respecting others and yourselves. P is for power and strength embedded in every female. O is for obstacles that you will face but overcome. W is for the win when it's all said and done. E is for embracing all the things that make you, you. R is for revolutionary, make an impact while staying true. Your voice is your power, so be sure to speak loud. Your voice is your power. Use it and make us proud. Your voice is your power. Speak articulate and clear. Your voice is your power, so make people listen and not just hear. Thank you.
Your voice is your power. Whose power? Mine. Whose power? Mine. Whose power? Mine. And don't you forget it. It is your power. Look, we have 6 more powerful women, and they are going to pour into you. And I also have 6 more girls that are ready to ask questions. Come on up.
My question is, what is one piece of advice you would give us?
Find your frequency. What did she say? Find your frequency. Feed your frequency and free your frequency. So what?
Find,
We find, feed, free. Find your frequency and what?
feed.
And then what? Free. Yes.
I have 2 things. One is knowing your dream. When you know your dreams and when you share your dreams, people will really help you with your dreams. The other thing, judge less, love more.
Yes. Know your what? Know your dreams. Don't allow other people to define your dreams. When you come up with ideas, and Maxine talked about that. Bears, who wants bears? Really? Yes, really. Those dreams that you have inside, no one else has those but you. Don't allow anyone to take them from you. Know your dreams. She said what? Know your what? Dream. Okay. Z.
So, the best piece of advice I can give you at this stage in your life is remind yourself that the people who are giving you the most hell, the people who are giving you the most challenge, the people who are not believing in you and trying to make you feel like you are less than, those people are hurt, and you will not remember those people's names 10 years from now or even next year. They don't know any better. Just know that you dope anyway. Just trust that you will forget their presence. Trust me, you will forget all about them when you on a stage like this or doing anything else in your life as you move forward. What they are saying, what they are doing is because they are hurt. It's not because something's wrong with you. Right. You are dope. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are purpose. You are on purpose. You have a purpose. You are loved, loving, and lovable, and nothing can change that fact.
Yes. That's facts. Period. Who is dope? Who's dope? That's right.
My piece of advice would be to trust your gut. And what I've told my children and staff members is get quiet. Find time every day to just get quiet. Some people call it meditation. Some people call it, I need a moment, I need a break. It's a time out. But get quiet, connect with yourself, pray. So when you're in a situation you're unsure about, you don't have to poll everybody. You just have to go internal. Trust your gut is going to save you.
Yes. Trust your gut. You know that feeling inside of your stomach? make sure that you connect with that feeling. And I'm not talking about the feeling of being hungry. I'm talking about that feeling of knowing that you know what you're supposed to do when no one's looking.
My piece of advice is enjoy the season you're in, being a child, being youthful, and really discover who you really are. What do you really like? What makes you happy? And what's the very thing you think you were created to do? Because each and every one of you is a gift, and get in touch with that gift and give it away. You are a gift, and give it away.
Be the gift. Thank you. And Miranda.
And mine is be present in the moment. Right now, today. You know, don't say I'll be great when I'm 16. You're great right now. Knowing that when you look in the mirror, you're great right now. You walk in greatness every day. So be present in the moment that you're in. Enjoy it. We oftentimes try to go so fast, and I can't wait till I can drive, and I can't wait till I do this. Look in your mirror and know your greatness and who you are
Right now. Right now.
Okay, hello everyone. Hi. So like she said, my name is Aria Mack. I'm currently a college student and I'm studying in Chicago, so I came all this way just to talk to you guys, to let you guys know what's been going on. So, by a show of hands, how many middle school age girls do we have here? Middle schoolers, where are we? Pretty good amount. And do we have any high school aged girls here? Any high schoolers? No high school, we're all middle? Okay. Well, that's great. So if no one has already told you, I want to be the first to let you know that right now, you are experiencing one of many, 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 many primes of life. Adolescence is a very important time. And you may not think so, but my advice to you right now in this point of your life is to go out and to explore. It sounds very simple and very easy, and it is. I want you guys to go out and find things that you like arts and crafts, sports, swimming, diving, all those fun stuff. But more importantly, find things that you don't like so that you can know to avoid those in the future and that you'll know to never do those things again. I want you guys to go out and explore all that life has to offer you and to create new habits, create new experiences, and try some new routines and just see what sticks. Use this time right now, use your adolescence to discover what really works for you and what truly makes you happy. It's usually out of these experiences, these new experiences, where you really discover and learn things about yourself. So when I was in middle school, I attended Grand Center Arts Academy, which was an art school in Grand Center, as the title implies. And when I went in, I only thought of myself as a dancer. Until one day, I auditioned for my school's show choir, and I realized I really liked to sing as well. I didn't only like to use my body, I liked to use my voice to express myself. So I did those two for a while. I sang and I danced. And then later when I got to high school, I auditioned for a theater class, and I found out I like to act as well. I like to use my body to create stories. So I did those three for a while. I sang, stayed fit, used my voice to express myself, and used my body to become new people on stage. And it was through those three experiences that I learned so much about myself. And then my senior year came along, and I encountered a completely new experience. So my senior year, I was diagnosed with synovial sarcoma, which is a type of cancer. It's a very rare type of cancer that develops in your soft tissues. Sarcoma, while being very rare, is also extremely aggressive. So my doctors wanted me to start treatment right away. So I found out I had cancer on a Tuesday, and the weekend of next week, they wanted me to start treatment. And I, being a high school student, didn't know anything about cancer, didn't know anything about chemo, so I sought different opinions from different specialists and a couple of family friends. And they would tell me stories about other people who had had sarcomas in their lungs or on their necks and how they unfortunately passed away from them. And every story I heard was usually fearful. But when I went in for my first treatment, I decided that I was not going to be fearful, that I was going to face cancer head on and that I was going to defeat it. And it was in this moment that I developed a strength and confidence in myself, that I was strong enough to face cancer and that I could do this. So as I was going through my treatments, I got really tired, very weak overall, and there were some times where I just didn't want to go, but I knew I had to. My mom would force me, and I would also force myself, and this in turn gave me the strength to persevere. I persevered and completed 7 rounds of chemo, as well as multiple sessions of radiation. Battling cancer was a completely new experience, and from this, I learned that I was much stronger than I ever imagined, and that I was capable to persevere through any situation. And when I lost my hair, I wore wigs for a while, but when my prom came around, I decided I was gonna go bald. Not to make a statement or because I was too cheap to buy another wig. I just wanted to go as myself, who I was at that time, a girl battling cancer. So just like any other girl, I went out, chose a fountain, took pictures, made a caption, got my hashtags together, posted it to Facebook, and I went to prom. And overnight, the images went viral. It wasn't my intention to make these images viral. I didn't collage them together and have them dispersed around the world. This was the doing of other people. And these images went viral because they could see the strength. They could see my confidence, and they noticed I was persevering, and they wanted to share that with the world. So this just goes to show that when you take on new experiences head on, you develop a strength and a confidence in yourself, and you can end up being an inspiration without even trying to be, just as I was. So I would like to leave you guys with an African proverb of Ugandan origin, and it goes, "You cannot climb to the mountaintop without crushing a few weeds with your feet." This can be interpreted in many different ways, but for me, this means you cannot reach your best self, your fullest potential, without muddling through a few experiences, without getting your feet working in those new experiences. So I encourage you today to go out, find things you like, find things you don't like, find out about yourself, and get your feet moving to crush those weeds. Thank you.